votre ceinture en tout temps. Il est interdit de fumer, d'utiliser des cigarettes.
C'est beau, hein?
Hey, how's it going? I thought I'd do another one of these because I'm currently in Newfoundland. The last time I came to Newfoundland was about 20 years ago, so it's been a while. I've been in Newfoundland 2 or 3 times before this. I've been on the West Coast and I've been on the East Coast. I'm currently on the West Coast, and I'm excited to be on the West Coast because that means that I can do the drive up. It's currently raining, if you couldn't tell. I'm excited to be on the West Coast again because I get to go revisit Aux Meadows and Norstead. The last time I went there was when I was a child, and I still remember it, and I'm very excited to go back there again. Looking forward to going over there and seeing all the things that they might have in their little museums. I remember there being a little museum, hopefully it's still there, and just talking to some people over there and just seeing where the settlement was and experiencing it almost sort of like for the first time again. And it's meant to be relatively sunny for the rest of the week, so hopefully that's the case, though I really don't mind. This isn't bad, and I rather like the fog.
Cheesecake, chez nous, tu sais, c'était...
We are currently on our way on the drive up to Aux Meadows. We're going to be going there tomorrow, though, because, you know, just to avoid getting rushed. And, you know, we have time to drive up there, get something to eat, and spend the night, and then have all day the next day to go visit Aux Meadows and Norstead. And I'm not too sure where we are right now, but there's a cool little boardwalk here. We stopped to eat, and there was a little Mr. Bird over there on the rock. And before someone's like, actually, that's a female. You can tell by the plumage. I don't care. But yeah, so far the drive's nice. There's a lot of really pretty scenery, pretty mountains, you know, on the side of the saltwater areas. And there's also the freshwater areas that we're going by. Also, I don't know why my dad thought this, but I walked down here because they were looking for a bathroom, and I walked down here because I wanted to get some footage. And then my dad walks behind me and he's like, "The bathrooms are that way?" And I'm like, "No, probably not." He went that way anyways. He went. Guess he'll let me know. This is Aux Meadows, where the Norse people settled when they discovered for themselves what we now call North America. This beautiful yet rugged landscape was home to different Norse settlers over time. One group, however, soured the relationship built between the native population, and the area became more and more difficult to live in peacefully. There isn't much left to find other than these foundations due to the last group of settlers led by, I believe, Freydis Eriksdatter, who made one last effort at peace before failing and then destroying the settlement, as well as taking back all the valuables therein. The recreated village is based on a few of these remaining foundations.
You see them going through there once in a while.
Yeah, I saw one yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you know, I don't know, there's quite a few, but there's probably not as much. There might have been probably more 50, 80 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
But still quite a few.
So when the Vikings were doing it, they would go.
Here.
They would do the string of Bill Isle.
They would keep
Obviously from
land in
Greenland.
sight all the way coming.
150 miles from land. You can't, it's pretty much impossible for them to get their bearing. The only thing they can figure out is latitude, and that's pretty much by the height of the sun over the gunwale of your boat. I mean, navigation back then, yeah, they used the stars. I think they used the sun more than the stars. That's as far as, but I mean, I don't know very much about it either.
Yeah. If you want a little nap, come on back and I'll slow it down. You go right, big snooze, yeah, big cozy.
That's the male fertility god Frey up there, over the bedroom door.
Oh.
A good place for him.
Yep. Never before.
Alright, so I just went and checked out Aux Meadows. A couple things were different than I remember, but of course, like I'd said earlier, the last time I went was like 20 years ago, so but you know, it's still almost just like I remember. I also met one of the reenactors here. I asked him where I could find some tortoise brooches, because I was looking for some tortoise brooches and they didn't have any at the gift shop here. And he said, oh, I know, you can get them at a Viking Shop. And he said, yeah, it's my shop, so I'm gonna be going to the Viking Shop today, and hopefully I can come out of there with some tortoise brooches and some other stuff. Looks like he's got a lot of cool stuff there that they might not necessarily have in the gift shop. But they had some cool jewelry there. They had some Viking knit jewelry, which is pretty cool because I've been working on some Viking knit jewelry as well, as you saw in one of the last clips. I was excited to see it. I have mine in my bag since it's pretty mobile. I pulled it out and I was like looking at it, comparing it to the other one, and you know, I'm doing a pretty good job. It's good. It's my first time doing it, and it looked just like the ones in the glass. So, so that's good. And of course, on the way towards the recreation village, I walked through the actual archaeological site, which is pretty cool. All you really see is, well, as you saw in the clips, is little raised areas of grass. But I don't know, there's something very interesting about standing in a spot and thinking, you know, a little over 1,000 years ago, somebody else was standing here. You know, I'm stepping on the same, quote unquote, same land that somebody else stepped on who was living here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really enjoy it here. Of course, it's a beautiful spot. Got a little bit of information as well because, you know, since this is something I'm so interested in, and as somebody who makes costumes and as somebody who's been starting to be interested in doing some recreations, you know, as much as our information can allow, really, because there is no such thing as historical accuracy anymore. I asked a little bit about what, if anybody ever comes and works here just for like a couple months out of the year or something like that, and they said, yeah, and it helps, especially if you're bilingual, which I am, so I might look into that. you make gin. That's juniper. Ouais, ça c'est... Ah, tiens, il y en a un de cette année-là, là, l'hiver. Ça, c'est de l'année. Nice. Norstead is modeled after what would have been a trading post, but it's not an archaeological site. However, it is heavily inspired by history. And if you have kids, they might enjoy this a lot more and learn a thing or two.
How are you?
Fine.
Oh, yes. I'm good, and that is wonderful. This beauty you folks are in now is our photos.
The reenactor is currently telling my dad about this cargo boat's dimensions and life. A fun fact about this boat is it has actually sailed the journey the Norse people sailed to get to Newfoundland. Of course, its crew had the Coast Guard at their disposal, which made the journey a lot safer. But I'm sure it gave its crew an amazing perspective on what it might have been like, and now she sits in this boathouse to be pampered and shown off.
Very good at Nefertofel because it's a strategy game, and to show he was a good strategist by winning that game was portraying a trading port village where ships would come in from other places around the world to bring things to trade to us. They would come in the trading center here to show us what they brought and make a deal with our trading expert. He would give them something that they consider a good trade. So we would be wanting to get things that we can't make or grow or here. So for us it might be some different kind of grains and things for our bread. There is a local wild wheat. I've got a little bit of it in here to see what it's like.
This longhouse is actually a replica of an archaeological find from Iceland. The original was from 1100 AD and was preserved by volcanic ash. The reenactor here explained to us that it's not a perfect replica due to some safety measures required by law in regards to the fire pit and proper ventilation, but still pretty cool. Dyes for textiles rely on your location and trade. The colors available to the settlers here were different than the ones at home. Different land, different resources.
Powerful people. They made armor and weapons. He made farming tools, cooking tools. He made jewelry out of gold and silver. He had a short life due to black lung. So around the age of 35 to 50, the blacksmith was more likely dead. So he would train his son, and when he got to the ages of 12 and 14, that's when he became a man, and shortly after, he would take over as the blacksmith. Now they found their iron in the bog and rivers. Like a rusty rock, they would smelt it down in a bloomery. After 24 hours, they would break their bloomery and remove a big ball of iron. They would lodge it in a log, and they would hammer it to separate the slag from the iron. Once they're done, they got a rod-shaped iron that they could use in their forge for tools. If you do.
This is the tablelands, a result of tectonic plates sliding over one another and staying here on the surface. As you can see, it's oxidized and nothing will grow on its surface. That's because technically this belongs below the surface of the Earth. Newfoundland in general is an amazing geological landscape. You'll find places like the tablelands and ocean floor on top of the surface, creating remarkable formations. It really is a special place. It also has partridge berry. Alright, so I'm back home now. If you couldn't tell by my cutting mat, I'm going to show you guys what I got at the Viking Shop. But yeah, this is the little shop that I went to after Aux Meadows. Bit of a family business, I suppose. And here are the things that I got. I did want to get some tortoise brooches, but the ones that I wanted, unfortunately, there was only one of, and I wanted a matching pair. So I'm going to get those probably somewhere on Etsy. First thing I wanted was this fibula. And I really, really liked the kind of twisty pattern on top there, and it's still simple enough. I didn't want one of those crazy fancy ones, but I really do like this one, and I like the way that it's wrapped around here. There are some fancy ones and there's some simpler ones at his shop though. Then I also really wanted this. The reason why I really wanted this is because of the gripping beast pattern in this 3-armed brooch right here. And I also got a Thor's hammer pendant. I really like this one because, well, actually it's carved out of bone, I believe he said. Wait, there might be an inscription here. Damn it. Anyways, that's who carved it though. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. Is it the... Hello? I need to vacuum, don't look. And then when I was paying at the cash, I saw these and I thought, this is just amazing. And it's got a little quote right here from the Anglo-Saxon Chronicles. These Norsemen bathe regularly and tempt with such novelties our highborn English ladies. Which actually has it's just a funny story to it, is that I guess, you know, since the Vikings or the Norse, they were bathing more than the Europeans. I guess the rest of the Europeans, the women preferred them to their own. And they were mad about it. They were mad about it. So yeah, I got these once again at the Viking Shop. There's the address right there. Should you ever find yourself on the west coast of Newfoundland up towards the, along the Viking Trail, you would probably be staying somewhere close to this and would definitely pass by it, I think, if you're staying in St. Anthony anyways. So why not stop in and support a local artisan and Viking reenactor from Aux Meadows?